Hello, everyone. I'm Roseanne Sarika Benedict from Compass in Greenwich, and I'm here today with Maya Sheehan. And Maya is in the, Dobbs Ferry office, right, of Compass. And she has a fabulous listing at 90 Spring Street in South Salem that I can't wait for her to tell us all about. It's definitely a make you want to move home. But before we get into that, I'm just going to chat a little bit about Lindsay. Why don't you, Maya. Maya's co-listing the property with Lindsay Rothman, who was not able to join us today. So I'm glad you're able to meet us today, Maya. But why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am an agent in Westchester on the Westchester team. So Lindsay and I are leaders of the Westchester team, and really we spend a lot of time, educating buyers and coming up from the city about the different areas of Westchester. So, why you moved to Westchester.
Right. That's great. I love the name.
Yeah. So I've been with Compass for about 3 years. So I was there, towards the beginning of when we were opening up in Westchester. So we opened up about 3 years ago. We opened up our office, right when I started, and have exploded ever since, similar to other areas. And now, we had one office, and now we have, I can't even keep track, maybe 7 or 8 offices in Westchester. So
yeah, you certainly have grown. It's amazing all over. I mean, Compass is growing every day. You hear someplace new that they're opening, and that's great. So it's great company. Are you originally from that area as well?
I am, yeah. So I grew up in the river towns in Ardsley and Westchester. Left for a long time, kind of traveled the world and lived all over the place. And then most recently was in Brooklyn with my husband and kids and dog. And, we just kind of got sick of the small spaces, and schools were a big question mark as my daughter was entering kindergarten, sort of the typical great migration of, people moving from Brooklyn up into Westchester. So we started looking around and ended up in the town that I grew up in. So it's
that's great.
Kind of wild, yeah.
Do you have a lot of family still back home?
My parents are still here in Westchester. They moved a little bit further north, but I have tons of friends that I grew up with in high school and have known since kindergarten. Everybody is kind of back in Westchester. So it's really nice to kind of be back with everybody. I think it's sort of a testament to growing up here. A lot of people now in adulthood are raising their kids in Westchester.
Yeah.
They realize it was a great place to grow up. So
it is. I mean, I'm in Connecticut. We're just over the border from Westchester, and, we go there a lot. There's lots of things, whether it's restaurants or parks or, just things to do. So I love Westchester as well. So tell me about 90 Spring. Oh my God, I'm in love with it.
Me too. It's maybe my favorite listing, favorite home we've ever listed. I mean, it is an incredibly special property. It is, it's an old farmhouse. It was built originally in the early 1800s, and it was very recently, about a year ago, finished a complete and total renovation. So they really, to the studs, everything was completely renovated. All the mechanicals were updated. And it is just absolutely gorgeous. The design that they did, they really kept the character of this, historic home, but they really, elevated it and modernized it. But it's really just stunning.
And that's what I love. That's what caught my eye. Is I'm certainly an old home kind of person, and I loved. I mean, those plank floors in that house are enormous. They're so wide, and they go through the whole house.
Yeah.
And they kept all of those really cool features, right? The fireplace and some of the paneling or siding. And yet they, put in a new kitchen, but it's a new old kitchen, right? It's just gorgeous. And the bathroom's the same thing. You have all the modern conveniences in your bathroom, but it feels warm and cozy. So
they were very careful about trying to salvage as much of the old house as possible. So even the bar in the dining room, it's reclaimed from the original house, so they really were very careful. They kept everything and they reused it in any way they could. They made mirrors out of some of the wood. I mean, it really is, it's special. The woodworking and the quality that was put into it is really, it's incredible. And they even the vanities are old, vanities that were reclaimed and put, or bureaus that were reclaimed into vanities. So they really were very, very careful in how they reconstructed and recreated it with keeping that, that tradition.
Right, right. Another thing that I really liked was the, at least it appears that you walk right out from the family room area to the outside, and they have that cool fireplace and a really nice deck or patio area. Outdoor space looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It's on 3 acres, so it's a really big, beautiful property, and you really feel like you have your own oasis. So, the owner, she keeps the doors open, and in all weather, and she really, it's a big entertaining space. It's in and out. She says she's had, tons of pre-COVID, tons of parties with friends and entertaining, and you have that bar area right off of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's really an entertaining home. It's gorgeous. You have wetlands in the back, so you don't have anyone that's going to build behind you. So there's a lot of privacy. There's, streams and babbling brooks and everything there. So it's really a special property. What I also like about it is that you have that privacy and you feel like you're in this escape, but you're also very close to a lot of things. In Westchester, there's a Hog and Hound restaurant, which is fantastic, just down the street. There's a yoga studio next door. There's horseback riding across the street, tons of hiking trails, and you're also 10 minutes from the Katona train station. So you have that kind of private escape, but you're also still accessible to, the world.
And that's so necessary these days, right? I mean, everybody wants their own little oasis, but they need to be close to modern conveniences like the train and the grocery store. Nobody wants to drive an hour to get to any of those. So that really is the best of both worlds. Tell me about, because I wasn't quite sure I understood the barn or studio kind of structure. What is that now, or what could it be?
Right, so there's a detached garage right now that has a barn attached to it. So right now it's just sort of a barn and garage. Okay. When the previous owners had done the major renovation, they had planned on turning that into a bigger garage, so a 2-car garage plus a studio in the back. So they had it in the plans. It was approved by the village, so it is an approved plan. But they basically just decided, that they were going to, sell it and move on. So again, someone could definitely create a beautiful studio there. We've had a few people. We had someone who, is a yoga specialist, making it into an ice cream shop. So there's a lot that you could do with it. And again, it's already kind of been approved by the village, which is always the more difficult part. So there's a lot of opportunity for that extra space there.
That's great. Well, anything else that you can tell me about this house? I guess the price, what's it listed for right now?
It's listed for 1,150.
Okay. And it's on 3 acres.
It's on 3 acres. It's about just over 1,700 square feet. And it has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It is, it's not a huge house, but it's perfect for someone looking to kind of simplify, or potentially looking for, a great escape from the city if they're living in the city. It's really the perfect sort of vacation weekend home for someone really looking for a great escape from the city.
I might buy it and not tell my husband and then escape there. Don't tell him.
Together.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, anyway, it was really nice to chat with you today. I'm sorry Lindsay couldn't make it, but let her know that we're really excited about this house, and I definitely think it's a make you want to move kind of property. And if anybody has any interest or wants more information about this house, feel free to reach out to Maya Sheehan or to myself, and I'll connect you to Maya. And hopefully we'll get this house sold for Lindsay and Maya. So thanks for being an interviewee and working so hard to get here for me.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.